Hey, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another Whiskey Wednesday night here on the Mash and Drum Whiskey Room. I am Jason C. Welcome to the Dubba Oaked Melee tonight, which is going to be a lot of fun. I've gotten so many comments after I did the Fox and Odin review to put it against a bunch of others. People were very adamant that Old Forester 1910 is better, that Woodford Double Oaked is better, that Peerless Double Oaked is better. Well, we're going to find out tonight and see how Fox and Odin does, along with some others. We'll kind of do a quick blind tasting. We'll go through. We have 8. I also added 4-gate Kelvin 60 to the mix. I know the proof is high on that one, but I figured I'd throw it in there anyway, since it is more of a premium type of price point, and see how that one does. But yeah, we are going to have a fun night. Plus, I got some samples here, including a very special sample we'll talk about here in a little bit. Yes, you're not blind. This is the new George Dickel Bottled and Bond. I just picked this up today because it's a 12-year-old Bottled and Bond Tennessee whiskey for $40. So say what you want about George Dickel, but that is in a ridiculously good value and one I was willing to roll the dice on. So Lockdar's Barrel Breakdown. Oof, you should have Rebecca Creek Double Barrel Whiskey in the lineup. Maybe not the Double Barrel Spanish Oak, but the original Double Barrel was great too. I don't know if you got to try that at the distillery. I did Locktar. I don't have the non-Spanish Oak one. I only have the Spanish Oak one. So honestly, love those Dickel Bottle and Bombs. Cheers, Jason. I'm a huge Double Oak fan, so really interested to hear your results. Yeah, so am I. I'm just really, curious to hear about and see what exactly happens. We got some fun news stories, as always, to go through, including the release of the Weller Millennium, $7,500 for that bottle from Buffalo Trace. I don't know what is going on at Buffalo Trace, but it's insane. Anyway, we'll get into that a little bit. We'll try some different whiskeys. I got some samples, have a couple picks. I'm actually starting off tonight with my Georgia Heartwood Fiddler Double Oak pick. Speaking of double oaks, it's not really double oaks. It's finished with Georgia Heartwood staves, and this is one of those whiskeys. We just launched this last weekend on Shared Pour, and I believe there's some bottles left of this one. And cheers to the bottle cam and the sample cam. Look how nice and dark that baby is. That is right. So this is MGP Wheated. The MGP Wheated Bourbon Mash Bill, about 6 years old, and it's finished with the Georgia Heartwood staves, and it is just pure maple syrup pecan pie in the glass. So, yep. So what do you guys got in the glass? Locktar's Barrel Breakdown. In the description of the video, you can find my email address. Georgia Heartwood is so good. Always get a cherry Coke note. I'm on the Fox and Odin Double Oak for the stream. Absolutely. It is a double oaked with added staves. That's right. Okay, let's say hi to some people in the chat. Scotty Alexander, cheers and good evening. Didn't see it. So what about? Yeah, I did add Kelvin 60 because Scotty recommended it, and I was like, all right, I'll do that. Scotty doesn't know. Scotty doesn't know. I love that movie. If I sound a little bit weird, I'm just getting over a little bit of a cold. So if I have the sniffles or if my throat seems a little bit raspy, that is why. But I'm fighting through it tonight to do this. I can still nose and taste. So as long as those two things were able to work, I'm good to go. So what's up, EMC? Nice to see you, Emily. Dollar Bill in the house. JG is here. T. Jarrett. Mid-Hill Whiskey Lodge in the house. How is Lily doing? E.H. Tater. Perfect. I'm watching Bourbon Bill, so let's do this. Kim Schwartz is here. May the Schwartz be with you. And so is her husband, Mark Schwartz. May the Schwartz be with you as well, Mark. Miss you guys. Hope you guys are doing well. Michael Speakerman is here. That's me. William Wiley is here. What's going on, William? Justin Jenkins in the house. We have Dr. Sped. We have Russ L. We have Stephen Walt. That Pursuit Double Oaked is something else. I'm curious how that one's going to do, Stephen, only because I feel like that one could stick out just because of how confectionery sweet it is, but we'll see. Ham Turkey Double Whiskey Wednesday. Mike Franklin's here. Sandeep Chima. Tim Cornet. Matthew M. Wednesdays are the best day of the week because of this live stream. Love you, JC, and I ain't afraid to say it. Listening to you in the car. What's up, Matthew M? Love you too, man. 96 Millie Man. Hey, cheers. Happy Wednesday. Wild Turkey won in the competition. You mean like the toasted one? No, because I didn't buy that one. I didn't buy the Wild Turkey toasted. Good evening, Jason in chat. Josh Fritz, what's going on, man? Nicholas, the Dubba edition. Sparty on Bourbon is here. Let's see here. Jeff Perkins is here. Tim Doherty. James Lay is ready to go. Truman in the house. What's going on? Bonding over Bourbon is here. Big freaking Vic. What's going on? Rigged. Abrod in the house. What's going on? Abrod. Joey B is here. We got Dano B. We got Naka One Back Brewery. Naka One Back. Oh, I get it. Sipping on some 1924. Cheers from Boise, Idaho. Cheers to Boise. Love it. Let's see. Wade Waters here. Let's see. Truman. Bose Wine Guy. Chris Dottie. Not sure how to say that. Adam Hinson from Flowrider is here. Mike Daly. Sean Ortega, and a bunch of other people coming in. Paul P. Roger Reese. Les Ramblett. Black Bourbon Family. Big cheers to Jason and Brandon, who put out a great video yesterday about the some great channels to watch. I'm very honored that they included me on the list. So that was pretty awesome. Brandy had my favorite line, which is like his visuals and the history. Everybody wants to grow up to be Jason C. It should make me feel old. It's okay. Absolutely love it. I'll be making my own video and actually filtering in, I think, some other great resources so people can find great information on where to get bourbon information and American whiskey information. Jason Coates is here. What's going on? And I'm going to, let's see. Truman, I think that double oak pick that we did would have been really good in here, but I didn't want to add a pick to the mix. I just wanted to kind of keep it to shelfers. But yeah, I feel like that double oak pick that we did from Art of the Spirits would absolutely probably kill it. It would do really well. All right, let me go down here. Let's see. Cheers all. Happy birthday tomorrow to show me the proof. Happy birthday. Cheers, everyone, says Imstar. Travis Robeson's here. Michael Baker. Cheers. Wild Turkey 101, best option on this Southwest flight. Glad Wi-Fi on this plane can keep up. That's awesome, Michael. Safe flight, man. Yeah, the Wild Turkey 101 on Southwest. When I'm in the mood for bourbon and I'm on Southwest, they always have Wild Turkey 101. That's a good call out. Let's see. I'll need you guys to kind of keep me posted on the Mavericks Timberwolves game tonight. I'm a huge fan of Luka Doncic, so I'm hoping, they win since the Knicks lost, unfortunately. William Wiley, no, I don't have a Starlight Double Oaked in the mix as well because I only have picks of that one. I don't have a standard bottling, if you will. So, but yeah, I wouldn't be mad if the Timberwolves won. It's been years since they won anything. So, but it'd be cool if, to see Luka move on. New Woodford Toasted SE. Yeah, we are definitely going to be talking about that toasted Woodford Double Oaked. The whole marketing story around is kind of, I don't know. I don't know. I'm so skeptical now. I think that's such a bad thing. Like when you're just so skeptical about every little story that comes out about bourbon, you don't know what's right and what's truthful, what's not. So yeah. Starlight Double Oaked is solid for sure. Wait, Jason, you're not cheering for Boston? Yeah, no, sorry, dude. Not that I don't really have anything against Boston, to be honest. Yeah, my New York Mets are absolutely horrible this year, which I said in the beginning of the year that they were going to be friggin' terrible. Everybody said, I'll give them a chance. Nope. I said they were going to be awful, and they are the most boring team in professional sports to watch right now. They can't hit, they can't field, they can't pitch, they can't save a game. It is painful to watch. I'd rather just put razor blades in my eyeballs than watch that shit. It is so bad. So anyway, yeah, go Guardians. Honestly, kind of at least the local team kicked their ass, and I can maybe root for the Guardians this year. Jesus, but it was so bad. I think the Rockies are worse than the Mets. Oh, I mean, if the Rockies are worse, then that's pretty bad. All right, so I am pouring the Fiddler, my double oak Georgia Heartwood. I'll show you guys the bottle here on the old bottle cam. There it is. If none of you guys have seen this bottle, it is a, like I said, this is ASW. This is out of Atlanta, Georgia, and they are doing some incredible things. This is our 4th and 5th pick we've done with them. And we decided to go 2 bourbons. We had another bourbon called the Soloist, which was super unique. That one sold out, but this one is actually still available. If any of you guys are interested in trying it, I could drop the link in the chat. But it's pure pecan pie. So cheers, guys. Here we go. Yep. Smoked pecan pie and molasses. Dear Lord, that's so good. Chicago has no disco for Fiddler. Oh, that's unfortunate. $80 K-Luke is a steal. Yep. Love K-Luke. Let's go Phillies. Yeah, so Phillies is a team I will not root for ever. That ASW finished Weeder is so good. Yeah. Link? I could try to get the link here. I should have been more prepared. Sorry, guys. I will get the link. Drop it in the chat. All right, I got it right here. Not too bad. Heartwood. I'm going to drop this right in the chat here. So that is our shared pour barrel pick. I think there's only like 30 bottles left. So if you guys grab one before they're gone, you're going to have yourself a hell of a bourbon right there. So I'll pin that one. And we're good to go. It's not alive without realizing you forgot something. Well, I mean, first of all, and I appreciate Jason Brandy calling this out for me. You know, with the amount of people that we have to watch, we have 300 people already watching already, which I absolutely can't thank you guys enough. Trying to manage the production, comments, pours, and all the multitasking. You're bound to forget something, but it's, you know, this is my favorite, my favorite thing to do, especially with you guys. And it's just, even though I'm under the weather, it's like, yeah, I'm not missing this tonight. So. Yeah, if you guys are here, hit the like button. What we're going to do is jump into some samples here. We'll talk about little news stories here, and hopefully my voice holds up. So I will say this. I was contemplating, man. I was like, oh, am I gonna do this thing tonight? And then I was like, I've been wanting to do that double oak flight. And so immediately I was upstairs. I was like tasting a few things, and I'm like, all right, palate, nose work. I'm doing it. So I'm sure I'll sleep really good tonight, though, guys. So. All right, this is the George Dickel Tennessee Bottled and Bond whiskey. This is a 12-year-old whiskey for $40. And excuse me, whether or not you hate George Dickel, you can't argue it's a good value or it's not a good value. Here's the bottle cam right here. So how do you know this is the newest one? Well, they added a little tag here this year, which says age 12 years. I don't remember that being on any other Bottled and Bond releases that they've done with this one. It says age 12 years there, right on the side. And then if it says, right here, if it says, let me hold it this way. All right, distilling season spring 2011. If that's what it says on the side, then you guys have the newest one that's 12 years old. Because there's a few of these that are older releases that are hanging out on shelves. But this one is, I don't know. I wanted to give it a try because 12 years old whiskey for $40. Let's see how dickly it is. What's your opinion on Dark Arts whiskey, says Jose Cardenas. I love what Dark Arts is doing, to be honest. I think that they have come out of the gate not only doing the right things when finishing, but they're also making some really creative blends. They're doing a lot of really interesting things, and I think that's awesome. I've only had a couple picks. I had the Bourbon Junkies pick, which I really loved. They sent me some samples. Their French oak one, which I think I have. Where is that one? Is this the French oak one? I think this is their straight bourbon whiskey. Oh, this is their sherry. This one's really good too. So they've sent me samples of stuff, and I absolutely love their stuff. So I think they get maximum amount of flavor for exactly what they're working with, and I think it's great. I mean, is it a little bit overpriced? Yeah, but I mean, you kind of have to put them in the category of where like Nulu is, like what Nulu is doing. But we'll see how they progress from here on out. But I love what they're doing. When sick, drink Dickel. 10,000 more to 100K. Yeah, I am literally like 120 subscribers away from 90,000. I have a few videos in mind. I know I keep saying it, but I do have a few videos in mind that I'm hoping will get me over the hump this year before 2024 ends, but we'll see what happens. But yeah, that neck tag info has, it has been on the label. Okay. That neck tag screams desperation. Are the char levels usually closer? Some distilleries use higher char than others. Bob Glass, I think historically, most char levels were used at about the 3 or the 4. Because they want that charcoal within the barrel to also filter out some impurities in the white dog and the distillate. So the higher char levels will do that. However, what we've seen in today's market is people playing with all sorts of different char levels. Not only that, but also toasting the heads of the barrel. So you have a low char, a char 1. I think one of my favorite bourbons that Buzzard Roost does, I've talked about it, is the char number 1 bourbon. It just has a very unique sweetness to it. I really like it. But there are some other folks that do a light char on the inside of the barrel, but then they'll do a heavy char on the ends, on the caps. And I don't know. I think there's a lot more variety that you could try, nowadays with those char levels. But historically, you usually saw anywhere from 3 to 4. And I think even nowadays, if you're looking, unless it says like char number 1 or char number 2, you're normally looking at 3 or 4. So all the Dickel bottle Monalises have how many years in the season, and they were distilled. Yep. I'm drinking. What's up, Whiskey Uncensored? Nice to see you, Bourbon. Is Fancy Franchi here? Where is she? Ladies and gentlemen, it is Fancy Franchi's birthday today. And I've been kind of like holding back to wish her a happy birthday on Facebook or all that stuff because I don't know, that's like the thing to do. But I definitely wanted to just take a moment and say happy birthday to Maureen Fancy Franchi because she is probably one of the best people in the world that I've met within the whiskey community. So Fancy Franchi, I hope you had an amazing birthday today. So cheers to you. Hope you're having a great pour. Hope Gary is, I don't know, taking you out to dinner, doing something with you tonight. I don't know. Gary, get on it. Get her a nice gift, nice bottle of whiskey. What happened today? But Maureen, Fancy Franchi, cheers. Happy birthday. Let's see here. Master Drum, is there a reason that the bell notifications for your channel cannot be turned on? That's weird. I've never had anyone ask me that. I don't know if that's on your end. Get it together, Gary. All right, so let's get into the nose of this one. How Dickel is it? Yeah, I mean, that vitamin-esque note that you get from George Dickel is there. But I will say, it's definitely got this like smoky sweet balance that I really like. So the thing I like about this one, which is really interesting, I'm not sure what dark fruit that is. It's not cherry. It's not strawberry. I feel like it's more of like a blackberry note that I'm getting, almost like a raisin on the very finish of this one. And I think it kind of saves it because it gives you those, those vitamin, minerality, that note that people do not like about George Dickel. But there's a very developed sweetness in this that I think is actually really nice. Yeah, you get it on the very, very back end of this. Yeah, maybe like a current Casey House. That might be a good call out for that. Yeah, because it's not it's definitely not cherry. It's not strawberry. It's like a dark raisin, currant, date, some type of really dark, some really like dark fruit. And you get it right on the very end of the palette here, which I love. This is awesome. Nick Foles, Jason, did you hit on any of the sneaker releases today? Nope, took 2 L's. I didn't hit the Futura, and I did not hit the J Balvin, so I lost both. What about you, Nick? You hit anything? Thrasher, Jason, hey, dude, I saw a picture of you online with you hands on my purple bunghole. Did you nose my bunghole yet? Chentani? Chentani, Thrasher. Master Drum, do y'all get hit by that big storm? No, did not. Is there one coming in tonight? Because I don't think we didn't get hit with it here. So 0 for 2. I'm used to it by now. Guys, this is actually really nice. Listen, love or hate George Dickel, I'm drinking a 12-year-old whiskey for $40. So I'm feeling good right now. This is, it's got the dickliness. I don't even know how to describe it anymore. It's got the it's got the dickliness, but I think the dark fruit characteristics here are balancing out a little bit. I'm curious as this bottle opens if it'll get better. This was just a neck pour tonight, so. But I really like it. Oh, yeah, Travis Robeson, he's a fan. I think it was very good. Yeah, so there was an 11-year that they did like a year or two ago that I actually thought was really good too. And this reminds me of that one with some more like dark fruit notes on it, which I really like. It's Dickly. It's got the Martiness. Yes, Marty. It both smells and it smells like you. I'm not going to say it tastes like you because I've never, that's just weird. Yeah, there's a little bit of like a musty oak profile that it's got too on the back end. This thing's all over the place. I gotta let this open up and see what happens. I'm actually gonna pour a little more here and get it past the shoulder. Let it open up a bit. Oh, excuse me. I'm gonna keep that right there. One release was low on the mineral notes. I think it was that 11-year Bozwine guy. That might have been it. I was the Flintstone vitamin kid. I didn't mind it. Dickel 17 and 19-year-old picks at $60 still remain my reigning champion for best value. Yeah, Paul P. And nobody talks about him. And I'm glad they don't because you could walk in, grab a 15, 16, 17-year-old single barrel. Now, as long as they're the over 100 proof ones, those are like a buy for me. If they're like the 90 proofers, I skip them. But if they're like the 104 proof, 15, 16, 17-year barrel picks, I grab them. So, for sure. All right, so I have 3 new Penelope releases we're going to try here real quick. And while we're doing that, we'll go through some new stories. Not a ton to go through, but there was one surprise label that popped up that I didn't think we were ever going to see again. So, first and foremost, let's go through our first new story right here. And this has to do with WhistlePig. WhistlePig just killing it on the collabs. WhistlePig has collaborated with Solo Stove to release Camp Stock wheat whiskey. Yep, you could check that out, guys. See the picture there. There's the Solo Stove and also Camp Stock. So this is they blended an Indiana wheat whiskey, which is 85% of the blend, with their own WhistlePig rye, which is 15% of the blend. It's finished in a Solo Stove toasted barrels, which the brand claimed give the barrel a precise char and toast profile before being bottled at 86 proof. Now, you could buy the bottle and that Solo Stove that you're looking at as a combination for $200, or the whiskey itself for $74.99. So this is one of those releases that you maybe had me interested until I heard 86 proof. And then I'm like, man, no thanks. But, that's me. All right, so what do we have here? So we have the newest Penelope Toasted Bourbon. They just sent me these this week, guys, so I'm going to taste these with you here. So Penelope Toasted. This is the Penelope Architect, build number 10. Did you guys know they were even up to number 10? I think some people see Architect on the shelf. They don't realize if you turn the bottle around, it says build number whatever it is on the back of the bottle. And if you didn't like 1, you didn't like 2, they have progressively gotten better over the last few. So we'll see. This is the latest one. This is 10. So we'll see how this one is. And then this one is the Barrel Strength Bourbon. This is Barrel Strength Bourbon batch. The hell does that say? Is that an 8? 18? Man, are they 18? Are they 18 in? That's crazy. 114 proof it looks like here for this one. So let me get this poured. So who's buying a Solo Stove with some Whistle Pig? Nobody? Nobody? I got to catch up here. I got a bottle of that Whistle Pig Solo Stove Weeder. It's good. Nothing to rave about. I'm a pig fan boy, so I had to get it. It says Sawdust and Coffee. Yeah, I can't say I've seen that one yet. Okay. It's that Barrel Strength or a Private Select. No, this Barrel Strength is the regular Barrel Strength, so it's that orange, reddish label that you see. I could grab the bottles so you guys can look if you haven't seen them, but yeah. Hey, Tommy D's in the house. What's going on? 86 proof, hard pass from Paul and Anna in Connecticut. Nope, pass on this whiskey. All right, so we have a consensus. Most people are passing on it, except for Whistle Pig fanboys. This is exciting. This is a distillery that I've been high on for a long time, and it's Sagamore. Sagamore is finally releasing their very own 100% Maryland distilled rye whiskey. And it's going to be available worldwide as of last Wednesday. So it's made from grains sourced through Sagamore Spirits farm-to-table process. Sagamore's small batch is a blend of Sagamore Spirits, triple distilled high rye and low rye mash bills, aged between 4 and 6 years. The whiskey is blended in batches of 20 barrels and bottled at 93 proof. Price for this one, which is the best part, guys, $40. That's it for that bottle. And I couldn't be more happy for Sagamore. That is a goal that they've been talking about for years since they started up to bring Maryland rye back, and it looks like it's finally happened. So as time has went on, they've been just working on their own stuff. They've been absolutely putting out some incredible bangers of rye whiskeys, even working on some bourbons as well. And their stuff is just incredible. So I'm really happy for them, for sure. Can you cook a pork chop on the stove? I hope so, JG. That would be worth it, maybe. Master Jones, speaking of Penelope, my purple bunghole was finished in a Penelope barrel, hence the purple bunghole. Burbenz knows it. Shayla's hubby love nosing it. You never know. I'm gonna crack that wine open at some point here, Thrasher. I can't wait to try it, man. Yeah, $40, great price. Again, this is another example of that. If you do it on your own, it's definitely cheaper than sourcing. And again, I realize people like to, shit on source stuff when you could get it from the source. And I get that. But the sourcers do interesting things with it that other folks don't. Case in point, 48 Kelvin 60 is in tonight's blind. That is a Four Roses distillate. Have we ever seen Four Roses do a double oak product? Nope. But Foregate did it. Yeah, you got to pay $200 to try it, but at least you could try it. So that's the key with certain source whiskeys. And then you have brands like Backbone, Nashville Barrel Company, that do incredible stuff with MGP. So it just depends. You just got to know what to look for, guys. That's what it's about. That looks dark. Yeah. All right, let's go to the next one here. And this is Little Book. And I'm actually pretty excited about this one. Little Book looks to be a rye this year. So they're going heavy on the rye whiskey for Little Book this year. Now the blend, for what it says here, let me just find the ages. Oh yeah, here we go. Little Book explores the path not taken with the first attempt to put rye whiskey in the spotlight. So let's see. The blend explores the future of American rye according to the brand, and features ryes ranging from 4 to 18 years old. That's right, 4 to 18 years old. The whiskey was bottled at 59.1% ABV and hosts a suggested retail price of $150. So it's called The Path Not Taken. Aromas of butterscotch, toasted rye bread, freshly pickled herbs like dill. The pour is thick with orchard fruit like apricots, interlaced with floral qualities with an oak backbone. So yeah, you guys excited for this one? With that, with knowing the ages in that release, would you guys be more apt to pick that one up, being that it's a Little Book, or do you? I don't know. I think Little Book made a little bit of a comeback last year. I absolutely love that release. So I'm curious about that one this year. I'm definitely on the hunt for it. Minnesota 62, 59 halftime. Oh, they're already at halftime? Jeez, that's fast. I think there's one older bourbon in the mix. Oh, really? Okay. Keith Stepanski. Jason, you didn't meet up again this year at Sagamore. If so, when? Could not make last year's and was sad. No, this year's meetup is going to be at Bardstown Bourbon Company the last weekend in September. We'll have tickets on sale at some point soon, so we're working on it. What's up, Christopher David? I'm buying 2 of the Little Books. Okay. Due to the ages, maybe at MSRP, says Josh Fritz. Okay. James Lay says bored. Does that really bore you, James Lay? When's the last time we saw an 18-year-old rye from Beam? What was the last ultra-aged rye they ever released? Somebody could look that up for me. Let me know in the chat. Just tag me or super chat me so I could see it. Sean Dent, my man Jason, what is your take on the Blue Note uncut unfiltered picks? I think they're really delicious with great value, slightly north of 40 bones. Sean Dent, I am a huge fan of them. Some of them can be a little bit youthful, but some of that stuff is getting better. Again, it's Green River distillate. And I find that every Blue Note uncut unfiltered bourbon I've tried recently that are the picks are getting better and better. So yeah, they're great values for sure. Oh no, read up. Oh, read up. I'm sorry. After last year's LB, I'm 100%. Oh, on board. Oh, got you, James. There you go. Yikes, they put dill in the tasting notes. I do like pickles, but not in my whiskey. Well, we'll see what that is. Is it more of a herbal dill, or is it like tastes like pickles? That's the big difference. Did you see the new Remus and its components? I did, Luke Stevens. I did. I'll see if I can pull that up too here. All right, let's go to the next news story. And we're going to talk about what we talked about last year. Well, I mean, let's get into it here. Here we go, guys. Here it is. The Weller Millennium. Now, I showed you the label last week, but now we actually have what the bottle looks like. The Weller Millennium. It's a wheat-heavy blend of whiskeys up to 24 years old, and it's more expensive than you think. Oh, thank you, Buffalo Trace, for that. So Buffalo Trace announced the release of Weller Millennium, an experimental extended age blended whiskey comprised of vintage wheated bourbon and wheat whiskeys. Some of the liquid in the blend dates back to 2000. The brand claimed in 2000 that it wanted to set aside some of its whiskey distilled in the new millennium, and that this blended wheat whiskey was 24 years in the making. So you have straight bourbon and wheat whiskeys that were distilled in 2006, 2005, 2003, and 2000. It's a 99 proof whiskey with a suggested retail price of $7,500 and will be released in limited quantities starting in June. I love when Buffalo Trace says released in June. Who is ever going to see a bottle of that besides a liquor store owner who may give it to one of his, rich clients or rich customers? I don't even know. How does that even work? Nobody will see that bottle. Mary Beth right now with the comment of the night. I will take the solo stove. Mary Beth's like, screw the Millennium. I'm going to get a solo stove instead. Yeah, it's a money grab. Like, it's just, should I play it? I guess I'll play it. I think I have to play it at this point.
Never gonna get it, never gonna get it, never gonna get it, never gonna get it.
I mean, maybe you get to try it at a bar at some point for like, $500 a pour. But $7,500, I don't understand why Buffalo Trace keeps releasing these super high-end, ridiculously priced whiskeys. Is it to keep their mark as like the most coveted and the most premium type of whiskey brand on the market? Is it like just a reminder, like, look what we have, look what we can do? And I mean, it always comes in this crazy, like again, like the OFC, like the Double Eagle Very Rare, we have this giant presentation box. I mean, it's unreal. I mean, the marketing costs on this shit, it's just insane. Like, to me, I wish Buffalo Trace would stop putting out super limited freaking $7,500 bottles and focus more on getting more of their regular offerings into the market. I don't know if people are sick of Buffalo Trace at this point, but I live in Ohio, so Weller is pretty consistently available here, like every Saturday. You can find Weller. I think this weekend there's going to be a bunch of Eagle Rare and some other. I think, guys, this weekend here in Ohio, I think they're going to drop some of the Charter Oak French Oak bottles this year. I think that might be happening this weekend in Ohio. So I think Blanton's is coming. Eagle. So a big Taterade type of weekend here in Ohio. But I know Florida is getting a shit ton of Buffalo Trace as well right now. So, but is the rest of the country doing that? Like, how is that working? Like, I don't know. It just bugs me, I guess. I will buy 6 George T. Staggs. Every time you play that clip, I remember how awesome En Vogue was, and I need to go listen to Funky Divas. You can find Weller if you go stand in line at 5 a.m. Yeah, you can. Charter Oak dropped last week here in Florida. Yep, it's coming out, I think, this weekend. I would rather buy a Michter's 20 year for 2018 for $3,500 than a Weller Millennium for $70. I would agree with that. I'd probably rather get a Michter's 20 year over that Weller Millennium for $7,500. Yeah, it's crazy. I just don't understand what that mindset is, that they just want to keep peppering the market with unobtainium so people could just think, oh, have you seen that? I don't know. I think it's just to get people talking. Who knows? I mean, let me see. Does it even say how many bottles are available? It just says limited quantities. I'm curious how many bottles of this are available. Yes, it's impeccable, blah, 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 24 years. I mean, okay. I mean, it is what it is. I don't know. Honestly, I'm pretty excited about these whiskeys that are going to be releasing here from New Riff. Look at those. Back to the Gilded Age. New Riff draws on historic influences for new bottled and bond bourbon and rye releases. On Friday, New Riff announced the release of 2 new whiskeys, a bourbon and a rye. Old New Riff Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey and Old New Riff Kentucky Straight Rye Whiskey, both bottled and bond, non-chill filtered. So let's see. Old New Riff Kentucky Straight Bourbon. Let's see here. Is distilled from a mash bill of 60% heirloom corn, 26% Balboa rye, and 14% malted barley. While the rye is made from 65% Balboa rye, 30% heirloom corn, and 15% malted barley. These will be $55, guys, and will launch, I think, tomorrow exclusively through the New Riff Whiskey Club. So if you're part of the New Riff Whiskey Club, you may have a chance to grab these literally tomorrow. So stuff like that I get excited for. I don't need all these $7,500 things. A $55 whiskey that uses that Balboa rye. Yeah, sign me up for that. Here it is, the new Woodford Reserve Toasted Bourbon. Now, let's get into this story a little bit. So this is the story that came about with this It says created by happenstance. A fateful barrel switcheroo at Woodford Reserve leads to a rare bourbon. So this was just announced on Tuesday, the release of a one-off whiskey within the brand's distillery series, the Toasted Bourbon. The bourbon hosts a suggested retail price of $64.99 per 375 milliliter bottle. That's a little bit ridiculous. $65 for a 375 milliliter. So the toasted barrels from Woodford Reserve, typically used for double oaked bourbon, were brought to the distillery by accident and filled with new make bourbon distillate. These barrels are typically filled with bourbon that has already been aged in oak barrels rather than new make. So toasted bourbon resulted in a delicious whiskey that blends the flavor profile of both Woodford Reserve, bourbon, and double oaked. 18 barrels had been filled. The team noticed the barrels were incorrect, but McCall wanted to monitor the barrels to see how they matured. The barrels spent their time resting for over 6 years in Woodford Reserve's Warehouse C. So there you go. Again, 90.4 proof though, guys. 90.4 proof. So it's the usual stuff. Who's interested in that one? Anyone going for the Woodford Reserve? It's only available in Kentucky and at the distillery, I think, from what it says. So Joe Wanninger says 7,500 equals 2 secondary King Kentuckys plus secondary ECBP batch 11, secondary HACT plus every MGP. That's pretty spot on, Joe. Hard to get excited about a bourbon. I don't know if I hard pass. Pass don't like being lied to. I don't know if they're lying there, but, you know, there's always seems to be a weird story like that. We accidentally got these barrels and blah, 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 blah. But, I mean, I get it. It's all right. I see you. All right, let's get to a couple of new fun labels that popped up. None got my meatballs all spicy than seeing this bottle, because I didn't think this bottle we would see. I don't think it was coming out again. Here it is. The Calumet 17-year. Looks like it's going to be hitting the market at some point. That's right. We have the 14, we have the 15, we have the 16. Now we're getting a 17. And it looks like it's going to be 117 proof. No talk on price of this. I'm guessing this will be about $160, maybe 170 if you're going off of the previous pricing that Calumet has utilized. But yeah, Calumet 17 is coming. Who's ready for that? Anybody excited? Okay, I'm in jazzed up. That's a Hill Rock bottle. Yeah, it looks very close to a Hill Rock bottle. I like the packaging. 117 proof sounds good. 180 to 200. That's what I would guess, Luke. I think it's going to be in that ballpark. But you have a nice proof point. You have a nice age statement on that. If it's 200 or under, that's amazing. I'm just saying. $10 a year of age. I mean, yeah, my hand is up. I'll take one. Calumet can take my money, says Mike K. Yeah, I'm in for that one. It's kind of a beautiful bottle. It definitely is the Hill Rock bottle, for sure. Faux show. All right, so that was the one I was really excited to talk about. Again, Calumet's one of those brands. They released, so they had the Calumet releases. They also had what was the other brand that I can't think of that they had under their umbrella? I'm going to have to look up there. Which one was that one? Oh, the Sam Houston. That's what it was. The Sam Houston was under kind of that same umbrella. I don't think we'll see Sam Houston again, but if we do, that'd be pretty cool. But it looks like Calumet's coming back. So, and from what I remember, this was all distillate that was sourced from Barton. So I do believe Barton, that was all Barton distillate, which makes sense when you look at the age. There's only a few places that age whiskey is going to come from. Normally it's Heaven Hill, Jim Beam, or it's Barton. Not a lot of people have super high age stuff like that, at least that they're putting on the market to, for sourcing purposes. But yeah, pretty cool. Looks like we have another William Heaven Hill coming out. William Heaven Hill Bottle and Bond, Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey. And this one's going to be 13 years old. Now, I don't know if that proof is accurate. Well, it's bottled and bond, so yeah, it is. My bad. 100 proof, 13 years. Some of those bottled and bonds can be real hitters from William Heaven Hill, so I'd be excited to try that one, but I'm just never able to get my hands on those William Heaven Hills, unfortunately. Another new riff release called the Headliner. It's a blend of whiskeys you look on the back here, I can't even read that. I think it says, since our founding, 2014. Oh, there you go. If you look on the bottom, you can see the blend. Looks like they have a bourbon whiskey, 9-year, 10-year, 9-year, and a 7-year malt whiskey, all in the blend. That looks pretty cool. I love this label. That label's pretty badass. Speaking of Blue Note, which somebody brought up earlier, Blue Note is coming out with a honey bourbon cask, finished in honey barrels. I actually thought we'd see a lot more of these this year. I really thought honey was going to be what everybody wanted to do. What's funny about honey, and yes, I did mean to rhyme that shit, is that there's no like typical way that people utilize those honey casks. They're either rehydrated, because remember, when barrel aged honey goes in a barrel, it sucks the moisture out of the barrel to the point where the barrel, starts shrinking because all the moisture is coming out of it and it wants to fall apart. So essentially, you have to rehydrate those barrels to get those barrels back up together. Put more water in it before you fill it with honey or whatever else you're gonna fill it with. So, but some people have kind of foregone that method. I've heard that there are some people out there that are taking honey, watering it down, and then filling the barrels to that extent. I've heard of some people just using honey flavoring, but there's no real, there's no real, I guess, recognized methodology of how to do a honey barrel. So I think there's a lot of different weird honey finishes out there. So, and I think because of that, we were going to see a little bit more, but it's still early in the year. I think we should see more. So yeah, Rye 3 is doing a honey too. Yeah, I'm just getting all of a sudden it's getting really congested. So I might have to play a little video and then blow my nose before I dive into these real quick. I've heard of people just coating the barrel with honey too. Yep, that's definitely one of those as well. Let's see. I do love that honey. Honey, the new Amburana. That's what I thought it was going to end up being, William Hall, to be honest, for sure. Retro poster art is so hot right now. Yeah, cool label. So Nancy hooked this man up with a new batch for Murray Hill Club. It's out of this world. So I do have a really cool collaboration coming up with Nancy Fraley. I can't say what it is. She swore me to secrecy. So it's going to be awesome though. So something really cool is coming with Nancy. So we'll see. All right. I think we're good and caught up there. So let's see here. Let's talk a little bit about, let me go through these samples here before we get into the Ascot Award winners. And then we'll go from there. So, but in the meantime, I'm going to blow my nose real quick and then you guys can watch me fall on my ass. I fell. All right, feel much better. Figured if you're gonna watch me do that, yeah. Nancy and Jason collab. We bought 3 bottles. Nancy is on point. Spill it, Jason. I can't spill it. I can't say anything about it. I wish I could. So, all right, let's try these new Penelope. So this is the Toasted Bourbon Batch 24, and you guys know I'm not a huge fan of Toasteds, but let's see what we get here. This is pretty toasted marshmallow to the extreme. I'll say that. Wow. Drink a hazmat and it'll clear it up. Oh, look who's here. Yikes, the sugars congregate between the staves in those barrels, leading to a lot of bacterial growth. You really have to watch those honey barrels. Thank you very much, Nancy. Nancy in the house. Nancy, I did not spill the beans on what we're planning on doing. I want to keep it a surprise. But I figured I'd give a little tease because I think what you propose is going to be pretty amazing, and I can't wait. So, this is a lot of marshmallow in this one. If you guys like your toasted bourbons marshmallow heavy, there's a lot of marshmallow here. Wow. This could be the theme tonight because we're tasting a lot of double oak bourbons here in a little bit, and those are probably pretty marshmallow heavy. All right, let's try this one here. 100 proof on this one. Guys, I'll show you the sample here. So this is the Penelope Toasted Bourbon, batch 24-301, 100 proof. It's got a nice spice to it for a toasted bourbon. See, I think my favorite part of a toasted bourbon is the first sip. Because once I go into the second sip, it just starts falling off for me. And while this is good, I feel like if people are toasted bourbon fans, they'll really like this. But for me, it just gets into that aftertaste that I just don't like in toasted bourbon sometimes. I'll do one more. No worries, Jason. And by the way, I'm just waiting on a shipment before we get going on our thing. All right, Nancy. Waiting on you. I cannot wait. Yeah, it gives me that slight bitterness, almost like an over roasted like coffee bean. Do you guys drink Starbucks, or am I about to like cause a fight here in the chat? Like Starbucks versus Dunkin' Donuts versus Pete's Coffee. I know some people that love McDonald's coffee because it's like half of it is sugar, but I will say, sometimes you go to Starbucks. Now, Starbucks is already a little bit of an inherently bitter type of coffee. But if you ever go there, like late at night, it's like the last batch that they did, like before they close, and you get a pour of their coffee. Sometimes it comes off really burnt and really bitter, like overly bitter than what it usually is. And I think that's what you get here at the back end of this one. But some people like this. I like Dunkin', never Starbucks. Pete's, please. Amy Bohm is here. We got some legends here tonight. 400 people in the chat. Guys, thank you so much for hanging out tonight. This is awesome. Yeah, we still have to get to this sample, which we will talk about here because it's friggin' amazing. So, and we'll see if anybody here has got one. I grew up with Dunkin' in Long Island. Like everything was Dunkin' Donuts. Starbucks, started moving in, as I was growing up. But Dunkin' was the one you went to for coffee. So, and, living in Queens, I had a Dunkin' Donuts right around the corner from my apartment. And I'd go there before work. I would walk there on the weekends. It was a nice little walk to go to Dunkin'. I love their coffee. All right, so this is the Architect Bill 10. This is the French oak finish, and I love French oak, as you guys know. So it'll be interesting to see. So Nancy's in the chat, and Nancy, I do want to ask you this, because you obviously know French oak probably more than most people would. Now, from my understanding, French oak is extremely expensive, but there's a variation that you get with French oak casks that could give whiskeys that are being finished in them a lot of variable flavor profiles. Mainly with French oak, I get a lot of spice and I usually get a lot of dark fruit. Those are kind of like the two main notes I get. But other than that, with French oak, sometimes I do get a sharpness to it. I get kind of I'm not going to say a sour grapiness note to it, but something along those lines. So I don't know, Nancy, if you could just tell us a little bit more about French oak. We could dive into this on our stream too when it happens. I just figured you could throw some quick facts in the chat. So, all right. Yeah, Drifting Drams, Katie Turk. Those guys have some amazingly good coffee right now. If you guys are looking for, if you guys like to grind your own beans, you definitely gotta. And please, guys, if you are, if anybody has the website for their coffee site, please drop it. Feel free to drop it in the chat. Any mods, the coffee that they're roasting, the blends that they're making is absolutely incredible. So Ethan and Katie, Drifting Drams, they're making this coffee and it is absolutely stellar. I went through 2 bags in like 2 weeks. It's gone. So I gotta do another. I gotta get another batch of that coffee. Dunkin' can be a bit sweet. Beyond the Row. Oh yeah. Oh, what's up? Beyond the Row's here. David, what's going on, buddy? So when David doesn't make coffee, oh, it's Jamie. So when David doesn't make coffee, Starbucks will do, but definitely get that burnt coffee taste. Yeah, exactly. See, Jamie knows what I'm talking about. New Jim Beam, 7 years, a drinker, just saying. Damian Williams, totally agree. So, if anyone has not liked Architect in the past, I challenge you to not like this one because this is really nice. It's not overdone. Roger Reese, Stauf's in Germantown. I'm all about it. I love Stauf's. The first date I ever had in Columbus, Ohio was at Stauf's. When I first moved here, I was, I want to start dating again. And that was the first date I went on, was at Stauf's Coffee. And I just kept going back there because I love the coffee. The date wasn't as good, but the coffee was even better. I do. Yeah, Luke Stevens, I'm right there with you. I do nitro cold brew all day long. My favorite go-to right now. Jason, have you ever had Old Hamer cast strength? I have. I've had samples of that one. Love it. Barrel King Batch 83. Absolutely. Barrel King did an amazing, just an amazing showing in the Ascot Awards. Really happy for those guys. Absolutely. Really happy for Jared and Rachel. Architect number 3 wasn't bad. That's the thing, Mike. They're getting better and better and better. I think they're starting. Even Mike from Penelope, I was on the phone with him, and he said, I think that Danny, we've kind of figured out the Architect thing. And I think they have. This is a lot of rich fruit profiles here. A lot of the spices on the back end, but this is more of like an allspice. I don't think it's really like cinnamon forward, but Jason, not David, Jamie. Yeah, I realized it was you, Jamie. Yeah, and I think Space Ghost, you called it out. This was by the way, Space Ghost, underrated cartoon. I think that's the issue that a lot of people had with Architect in the beginning, but I feel like it's starting to phase that out. Now you're just getting the fruit flavors, you're getting the spice. There's a richness to it, good palate on the, when it comes to texture. This one's really good. This is build 10. 104 proof on this one. The mouthfeel's the best part. Penelope does a great job with their bottle designs. Yes, they do. Penelope's are mids. Matt's BK blend 1. It was amazing. It was it was. I still have some of his blend over there somewhere. I love Matt's blend this year. I gotta say, I haven't had many like incredible bourbons this year. I've been kind of disappointed for the most part. I think James E. Pepper was a really nice surprise this year because it was cheap, came in a beautiful bottle. I think it outkicked its coverage when it came to like flavor and everything else in between. The Heaven Hill 18 Heritage Collection for me was very disappointing. Didn't really dig that one. Elijah Craig Barrel Proof A124. I thought was just a very solid batch. Nothing incredible, but those are always pretty good. But I got to say, that Barrel King blend that Matt did is probably one of the top bourbons I've had this year. So, how does Barrel King do in hamburger helper barrels and Mexican hot chocolate and still get love from everyone, but good times get shit on? I'm proud of BK. I'm a proud BK member. They've done a hamburger helper. I haven't seen those, Joe, so I don't know what the hell you're talking about. I don't know. I think that's a good question, but I think it's just the way it's done. And I think Good Times, because of what just the array of flavors that they utilize is just, it's not natural. But they do like a complete, there's like 50,000 of them every year. Watermelon, blueberry, lemon, vanilla, coffee. I mean, it's nuts what they do. So, do you recommend a overhaul? This bottle right here, I love this bottle. That's probably one of my favorite ryes this year, for sure. I go to BK a couple times a month. Jared, Rachel, staff are amazing people. They totally are. All right, Nancy Fraley with dropping the info. Quercus Petrea is usually used for wine, but is also used in cognacs, such as Martell. It's very tight grain. Releases extras very flow, although it has more extratives. Yeah, maybe that's what I get. Oh, yeah, the Neapolitan. I mean, some of the shit's just ridiculous. That's right, Amy. Thank you so much. Be sure to click the like button. really helped me get some new folks. I need the new folks so I can get up to that 100,000 mark. Jason Frencho comes in two types: limousine, Quercus robur, and Qui Petrea. Is a coarse grain oak used for cognac with 10 times the amount of tannins of American oak. That's interesting. I did not know that. Okay, so more tannins. And I feel like, is that where that spice is coming from? Crazy. This is good. Architect Bill 10. If you're an Architect fan already, I feel like you're going to love Bill 10. But if you've had issues with Architects in the past, that might still be a try before you buy. So, yeah, ECA 124, both the Larceny and the Elijah Craig were kind of underwhelming for me. They were okay. They were just really good, solid batches of bourbon, but nothing really stood out. All right, last one. The barrel strength batch. Maybe that's a 3. Maybe it's a 13. Proof is 114 on this one. Now, this is a 4-grain blend normally. This is a 4-grain blend from Penelope. So you have corn, wheat, rye, and malted barley. Woo. So David and Jamie, if you feel like traveling back to Bardstown, our meetup is at the end of the it's the last weekend of the year at Bardstown Bourbon Company. Plus, I think we're doing something with Foregate the next day on Saturday, so it's going to be a fun weekend. So very confectionery on the nose, very sweet. A lot of apple, like Granny Smith green apple. Yes, the spice is most likely coming from the limousine oak. That's the one that has 10 times the amount of tannins as American oak. Yeah, there you go. What's up, Jason Kobe? Good balance, very sweet. This is probably going to be one of the more approachable. This is what Penelope does so well. This is one of the more approachable barrel strength bourbons you're going to find on the market because it doesn't smack you in the palate. It's light, but it's bold at the same time. It doesn't have this long lingering, burn that you get. And I think that's what's really made Penelope pretty popular. Like my mom loves the Valencia. She loves that orange, but she loves orange. My girlfriend Kim, she loves freaking Rio, the honey, the ambiance. She loves it. So Penelope has a way of bringing in new people to drinking. I'm telling you, new people to whiskey. Oh, that's so good. This is really nice. I would definitely recommend trying Barrel Strength Batch 13. The more you sip it, the sweeter it gets. If you like sweet bourbons, this Penelope Batch 13 is going to be up your alley. It's very sweet, though. Thoughts on the Babe Ruth Remus? $175 for 8.7 6-year high rye bourbon. Seems like way too much. Yeah, let's talk about this a little bit. The Babe Ruth Remus is going to be the new... Now, I don't know if it's going to be like the new Gatsby this year, but I was pretty disappointed when I heard those stats because you want people to pay $175. Now, I'm sure there's packaging involved and some other stuff, but $175 for a 8, 7, and 6-year high rye bourbon, that's tough. I could see that one sitting around unless they are banking on the fact that people are going to buy that, especially Yankee fans, and it's not going to really matter what's in the bottle. You got to remember, guys, that happens in whiskey all the time. Nobody gives a shit about what's in the bottle sometimes. They just want the bottle. They want the name on it. They want the beautiful packaging it's in. They don't care about the whiskey inside. So, and I think maybe MGP knows that with that Babe Ruth release. And I think that's what's happening. That's my humble opinion. I think that's where they're going with that one. Because to me, an 8, 7, and 6-year-old high rye aged bourbon that thing shouldn't even be $125. But $175? Yeah. Nancy, I'll be in touch today. My dinner is getting cold. Oh, go eat. Go eat, Nancy. Nice to see you as always. Thank you so much. Her name is Rio, and she dances on the sand. That's right. Prescription bourbon. Don't worry. I have not forgot about you. I have all the Blend-A-Get-In prizes going out. Just took a while to source them this year for whatever reason. Took forever to get the damn glasses in. So, what's your favorite Penelope? It's a good question. Probably. What's my favorite Penelope? Honestly, and I hate to this is kind of a cop out, but we did a proprietary blend with Penelope that was toasted. And normally I don't like toasted bourbons, but our Penelope toasted bourbons tasted like butterscotch candy. That's my favorite Penelope. I think is it right up here? Yeah, here it is. I'm going to step on these bottles. I'll grab that later. Or actually... where's the toasted one? Man, I hate when I lose bottles. Well, here's the pick we did. And this is the that was our Mash and Journey pick that we did. But so this was the original blend, and then it was toasted. And the toasted one came out like straight up butterscotch. So it was really good. But as far as like regular bottles of Penelope, I probably might lean, honestly, I really like the Valencia. I just like that orange note that it's got. I don't know. Rio, I got to be in the mood for Rio, and I can only really have like one glass of that because it is so overtly sweet. So, yeah. At that proof, I wanted autographed baseball by Babe Ruth. Yeah. Jason C., you heard it here first. I'm going to pass. Really? You're not going to buy the Babe Ruth bottle? I wonder if my mother's going to buy it. I wonder. Oh, how did I forget about that bottle? John Legalbo, thank you. That is my favorite Penelope bottle that they've released. That 9-year. That 9-year Penelope was one of my surprise bottles of bourbon last year. I think it was delicious. That's been probably besides my pick, that's probably my favorite Penelope of all time is that 9-year. So ridiculously good. And they got more stuff coming. Because remember, MGP kind of bought them back, Ross and Squibb, whatever you want to call them. So they have more access to higher age stuff. There could be some absolute hitters coming from Penelope. So yeah. How do you tell the release for Penelope on the back? How do you know? So John Farron, if you're talking about the Architect, the blue, you turn it around and it has a build number on the back. It'll say like build 10, build 8, build 9, whatever it is. The one I just tried is build 10, and that apparently is hitting the market now. As far as the barrel strength, they're numbered. So you'll see those numbers in the front. And the same thing with the toasted. So, oh yeah, the Tokai finish actually I really dig too. That one's actually pretty good. Is the bill number 6R or something like that? It's just bill number 10. That's all I'll say on the back. That 9-year was killer. Oh, yeah, the 15-year light whiskey was pretty good, too. Jason, have you had the Driftless Glen Naranja? No, I have not had that one yet. Just got a Penelope Barrel Strength 9-year Private Select. Can't wait to try it. Yeah, it's good stuff. All right, before we get into the double oaked blind here, I have one more bottle I want to talk, one more sample I want to talk about. This is, unfortunately, this is a very, very limited whiskey, very limited bourbon. So have you guys, if you guys follow the whiskey market and you look on, resale market sites and stuff, there has been Old Forester, a lot of President's Choice hitting lately. This sample happens to be the 12-year release. This is a 12-year Old Forester President's Choice. And I'm telling you, if I was able to get my hands on a bottle of this year, this is a Bourbon of the Year contender. It's that good. So President's Choice, and I think my bottle's upstairs, unfortunately. So President's Choice for Old Forester, you don't know when they're coming out. There's no rhyme or reason. It's usually selected by the president of Old Forester. It's a single barrel. And for when Jackie Zykin was on, she would send up a bunch of different barrels to literally the president at the time, Campbell Brown, and he would taste through them and pick whichever one he wanted. It would be his president's choice. And sometimes you had 9 on the label, 9 summers, 7 summers, 8 summers. Well, this one is 12 summers. And apparently, a couple of folks doing picks. If you guys ever listen to the Bourbon Hunters podcast, Dude and Brent and Tyler and those guys, they were lucky enough to do a pick there recently and got a chance to buy this 12-year President's Choice. And it's absolutely delicious. What's your short list for Bourbon of the Year contenders? Old Forester yawn. Yeah, Stephen Walt, I would agree with you because most of the stuff that Old Forester has put out lately hasn't really caused any buzz for me. But this bottle is incredible. Even the 1924 was okay. But this is, from what I remember, I think it's 55% ABV, 12 years old, and it's a President's Choice single barrel. And it's absolutely outstanding. Jesus. If I had a bottle of this would probably be my bourbon of the year. I don't know. Let's talk about it. Let's get into my, let's see. What do I have as far as videos that I've done this year? Early favorites, early favorite contenders. Traveler, nope. Elijah Craig, A121, A124. Was okay. Larceny was okay. James E. Pepper, I really love that one. That would be a top tier bourbon for me. Stag 23C. I love that batch this year. That would probably be up there with one of the best things that I've tried. New Riff 8 year, really love that one. What else? Oh my God, it's really slim pickings this year. Maybe the Foregate Kelvin Collab 6 and maybe the Bardstown Amroot. Those would probably be my tops right now. Other than picks, most of the amazing stuff that I've had have been picks this year. There just haven't been a super amount, like a super, I'd probably put, if I was to include barrel picks, obviously that Barrel King blend that Matt did is up there for me. But I can't say I've had anything mind-blowing this year, to be honest. It's unfortunate. Most of the amazing bottles I've had have been picks or barrel selections from either myself or from other whiskey tubers, like the Bourbon Junkies, like ADHD Whiskey, like Barrels for Hope. They're just picking in crazy good barrels. So I think it just depends. Sipping on, I don't think that better than JD12. Yeah, I'm not a fan of the JD12 and the JD10 this year. I think it went down a notch for me. I think the 10 is better than last year's 10, but I think the 12 is not as good as last year's 12. That's my opinion on the Jack Daniels for 2024 for those two releases. Now, remember, they're coming out with a 14-year, I think, this year. So we'll see how that goes. Russell's is coming out with a 15. We still have to try that. The Wild Turkey Rye is coming out, the Triumph. There is still a lot of bangers. Old Forester birthday bourbon this year. This might be one of the first years that I splurge and try to find one because it is supposedly 107 proof, 12 years old. From what I saw online. Now, it could all change in the press release, but if you give me a 12-year Old Forester at 107 proof, I might try to find that. Just because, when's the last time Old Forester birthday bourbon was even over 100 proof? So, I don't know. We'll see what happens. Let's see. Debating on pulling the trigger in that Amroot. The Green River. Rogeries, how good is our Green River pick? It's stupid. Well, dang, I managed to get my hands on the JD12 this year. It's still good, Terrence. It's just not as butterscotch forward as last year, and I think that's what kind of killed it for me. Any Ben Holiday on the top tier list? Yeah, the picks we did for sure. Jason, this next JD's Distiller series is a 107 proof double oaked and the new Coy Hill. Yeah, I mean, I think Jack Daniels definitely has a lot of leeway here to make a big move towards the end of the year. So we'll see what happens. Amy Bone, Master Drum, have you ever tried a recent 1920? I swear it's not nearly as good. Amy, thank you. Excuse me. Amy, thank you. I've been saying this. I've been screaming it from the mountaintops for the last, at least for 6 months. The 1920 now isn't nearly as good as the 1920 once was. It went from a chocolate cherry spice bomb to another banana offering from Old Forester, and I hate it. I don't hate it. That's a strong word. I don't hate it. But I hate that it switched. I hate that it went to more of a banana forward expression. Amy, I totally agree with you. Yeah, there's supposed to be another Maker's Mark Cellar Age release for 2024. We don't know what the ages are going to be. We had 13 and 12 last year. Will it be 14 and 13? Will it be 11 and 10? Will it be all 12, all 13? We'll see what happens this year. Oh, the Bourbon Lore, Ben Holiday. Yeah, that one was pretty good. I did forget about that bottle. That was a really good blend. My 2 ASW bottles are supposed to arrive tomorrow. Very excited. Very awesome Raging Irishman. Can't wait for you to taste them. Any suggestions on a rye for someone just starting out on rye? Ryan Tiller, grab yourself a Michter's rye. If you could find a Michter's rye whiskey, that's going to be the one you want to go with. I think it's a very sweet, approachable rye whiskey. Elijah Craig rye, I would probably put in that category too. What else? Yeah, I think Michter's is usually like the go-to rye, and Pikesville as well. Pikesville's a little bit higher in proof, but it's a very, very sweet rye. I would put Pikesville up there too. So, yeah, rumor is Coy Hill rye. If there's a Coy Hill rye, do you know what is going to happen? It's going to be nuts. People are going to go crazy. Jason, you need honey cough drops, man. Oh, later. I'll be all right. I'm hanging in. I did, Terrence. Well, are you talking about the Bourbon Lore one? Because I reviewed that, but I didn't review another one. Hard Truth Toasted Rye is amazing. Yeah, Hard Truth makes good stuff. Hard Truth, ECBP, C920. Any idea that will be? Rumor is that that's going to be another high age is the C. So we'll see what happens. There's already been reviews. Scott, he just reviewed the B5 23. So you guys could head over to Scott's channel, My Bourbon Journey, check out what his thoughts were. I think he really liked it. It's Bourbon Night, I think, did a review already. They said it was really, for them, it was very spice forward. If it is spice forward, I might be kind of excited for that one. But if it's too spicy and less sweet, I'm not sure if that's going to be. I felt like that's what I got in A124, so we'll see. Oh yeah, Old Forester 100 proof is a great starter rye as well. That's a good one. Yep. I don't know. I haven't heard about Sagamore releasing a 9-year. Actually, I haven't heard much from Sagamore since they were bought out by Campari. Oh, you know what would be a top tier bottle for me this year? For sure. Is the Old Fitz 13, the 25th anniversary. I'm still having a hard time trying to find a bottle of that one at a decent price. I might have to bite the bullet and overpay for it. But that bottle, for me personally, is what I look for in bourbon. It's so damn good. So right now, if I had a bottle of that probably might be my bourbon of the year, is that Old Fitz 13, because it's so stupid good. My rye of the year right now is right here. I've been talking about this bottle. This Two Souls Double Barrel Pumpernickel Rye, this 5-year, is probably my rye of the year right now. Look how dark it is. This thing is stupid good, and that might be my rye of the year up to this point. But we'll see what happens. We'll see what the Michter's is releasing their 10-year rye. Should have that soon. So we'll see. And come on. I don't know anything about Di Serono. Is Di Serono aged in barrels? Because if it is, I want a Sagamore finished in Di Serono barrels, because you know it's going to be delicious. 433 watching, guys. If anybody here is not subscribed or hit the like button, please do. Definitely helps the channel and me trying to hit that that mark of 100,000 subscribers. I don't know if I'll hit it here in 2024. I'm going to try, but yeah, it's been a slow, steady climb. I'm trying to put out. I've been doing like 3 videos a week lately, plus this live stream, so 4 videos technically. So I'm doing the content, but yeah, it's a grind, man. It's a grind. No, it's dark CS white because it's a pumpernickel rye that's been double barreled. So yeah. JG, yes, I am going to be getting more black on black char hats for sure. Is that 2 souls out of Wisconsin? I believe they are. Yep, Wisconsin. That's not their distillate, though. They source that from Middle West here, right here in Columbus. And I cannot wait to I am picking 2 barrels here in Columbus on June 21st. I think starting out at High Bank and then heading over to Middle West. That's going to be a fun day of picking barrels here in the great Columbus area. So, all right. It's time for the Dubba Oaked. Let's get Dubba'd. Oh my God. What was I thinking doing all these? One, two, three, four, five. Yeah, 8. Holy shit. All right, I'm just going to mix these up a bit. All right, guys. So real quick, what is in this blind flight? So we have Peerless Double Oaked, the Bourbon Pursuit Double Oaked, Woodford Reserve Double Oaked, of course, Woodford Reserve Dubba Oaked, the 2XO Innkeeper from Dixon Deadman, the Old Forester 1910, the Fox and Odin Double Oaked, and the 4-Gate Kelvin 60. Let's see who takes this. Here we go. Here we go. Biggest blind I've ever seen. Yeah, we're gonna get a little nuts tonight. Get a little nuts. Hopefully this will clear my my sinuses. All right, let me get my notebook out. And what we'll do here is we'll go through a little bit of the winners from the Ascot Awards. Now, if you guys do not know what the Ascot Awards is, that is Fred Minnick's competition, his awards, the platinum, double platinum, gold, all that stuff. And I am one of the tasters. When he asked me to do it a couple of years ago, completely just honored to help him out. I have not gotten my results yet, though. So I don't know what I voted on that I gave. Now, this year, I will say, out of all the years, I've never given out this many platinums and double platinums as I did here in 2024. And maybe it's because I had more of a selection of whiskey this year, which I did. I tasted through 100 samples this year of whiskey. Some of them were god-awful, but a lot of them were pretty good. And then when we got into certain other levels of bourbon, where it was like 10 years and above, stuff got really interesting and really good. So for me, some of those whiskeys got double platinum. A couple of, definitely probably mostly platinums for me. I think it was only like 1 or 2 double platinums I gave out. But apparently a lot of bourbons got double platinum. And I mean, I don't even know if I could go through the list here because it's so many. But I'll show you here the winners. And I mean, this is from the top. So these are all the double platinum winners for the Ascot Awards. Now, again, guys, I did not have all of these in my selection. There were some single malts in here. I don't think I got any single malts this year. So 10th Mountain American single malt, 1776 straight rye, got a double platinum. 1792 full proof, got a double platinum. 1845, I've never had this. I mean, if I did taste it, I don't know if I did. 291 out of Colorado, 100% rye malt Colorado whiskey. Whiskey batch 12, wheated bourbon. The Gem of Kentucky for Dixon Deadman got a double platinum. Now, there's a lot of different barrels in this 2XO lineup that was released. Dixon told me that some of these were he had some favorites that he liked. So I'm not sure what he submitted. So that would be interesting to know. Let's see here. This is rum tequila. I didn't have any tequila. We have a Wild Turkey Kentucky Spirit Thunder Chick 3 pick. I don't know if I tasted that. But let's just go through these here. Have a couple scotches. Alberlore. This is a lot of double platinums. Angel's Envy Cast Strength Bourbon Finish in Port Wine Barrels. I don't see how that got a double platinum. The rye whiskey I liked a lot better. That I could see maybe getting double platinum depending on the people. Ardbeg 10 gets a double platinum. The Wee Beastie gets a double platinum. Here we go. Barrel King, absolutely killing it. Batch 50 gets a double platinum. The Barrel King 69, the Smoke Show blend, gets a double platinum. Batch 77 gets a double platinum. 81, there it is, gets a double platinum. Absolutely awesome. Batch 75, which is a rye, gets a double platinum. Ben Holiday, Rickhouse Proof, that makes sense. Benchmark Single Barrel, really? Double platinum? I don't see how that happens. Benriach, Bernheim. There are a lot of big name Buffalo Trace bottles in this list, guys, that got double platinum. Black and Rabbit Hole gets a double platinum. There it is. Blanton's gets a double platinum. Blue Note, Blue Run Trifecta gets a double platinum, which, yeah, there's no way. Okay. Elijah Craig pick. Brothers Bond, Bald Bond gets a double platinum. Like, some of these, I don't know how they got double platinum, but I mean, there's a lot of judges. So this killed me. The Bullet American Single Malt got a double platinum. Yeah, I don't think so. Bywater Bourbon out of New Orleans, Catoctin, Chattanooga, Chivas Regal. Here we go. Colonel E.H. Taylor Single Barrel and the Small Batch both get double platinum. So does Eagle Rare. Let's jump ahead down to Eagle Rare here. Eagle Rare gets the double platinum. Elijah Craig Barrel Proof A124 gets a double platinum. C923, I would agree with that. That should have been a double platinum. Toasted Barrel double platinum? No thanks. Nope. Fiddler Toasted Rye Whiskey. Again, there's ASW making some noise. Love that they won. Five Brothers Bourbon getting a double platinum is a joke. I'm sorry. There's no way that's a double platinum bourbon. That is one of the most underwhelming bourbons. It's a marketing bourbon. That's all it is. So yeah. Forbidden. You guys know my feelings on Forbidden. I think double platinum should have been forbidden from this category. I mean, that's terrible. There's no way that gets a double platinum. Foregate Andalusia Rye, Foregate Kelvin Collab 5. I could see that doing really well. Some of the Frey Ranches, Garrison Brothers, Glenmorangie, Hard Shoot Sweet Mash Rye. I could see that getting like a gold or a platinum, but double platinum? Yeah, I mean, the PX Sherry one, that one was really good. If it's a single barrel, like some of those Hard Truth Weeded Bourbon Bottled and Bond, I don't think any of these were ready. These are very good bourbons, but I don't think they're double platinum categories quite yet. Henry McKenna gets a double platinum. My mom was happy. High Bank Vodka. I didn't get any vodkas in mine, but it's good to see High Bank Barrel Proof here locally in Ohio getting some love. Holiday, Hotel Tango, Irish Channel, JT Mellick, the Rice Whiskey out of New Orleans getting a double platinum, and I'm really happy for them. That's really awesome. Jack Daniel's 12-year, Jefferson's Pritchard Hill. Yeah, no thank you. There's no way that's a double platinum whiskey. K. Luke, congrats. Love K. Luke. Peerless for sure. Kings County, look how dark that shit is. I could definitely see that getting a double platinum in some areas for sure. Larceny, Leaper's Fork, Longmorn, Luca Mariano, Blue Spot, Green Spot, Red Spot, Yellow Spot, all the spots somehow getting in there. Willem and Green. It's a lot. Backbone, Straight Bourbon Uncut. Let's see, Old Forester, National Barrel Company. I could see them doing really well, especially a single barrel. There's a lot here. I mean, I've never seen so many double platinums in my life here. Old Elk. The Old Elk Cigar Cut Island Blend got double platinum. There's no effing way. That thing is terrible. Old Forester 1920. Speaking of the devil, the banana hammock gets double platinum. There it is, 1924 getting the call up. So yeah, I mean, I'll stop going through these guys because I'm sure this is kind of boring. But as you're going through that list, you kind of realize that, you know, I don't know. There's a lot of those bottles I wholeheartedly disagree that they should receive double platinum, but obviously it's not my call. It's I help call, you know, I give my scores, but there's a lot of judges that have a hand in it, so who knows? You're shooting to hit 100,000. I'm hoping to hit 1,000, says Beach Sand Bourbon. Oh, give a subscribe. Yeah, Kings County is amazing for sure. Some of those whiskeys make me question the process. Then again, they are probably submitting their best stuff. Okay, calling BS on all of these now. Take these medals with a grain of salt. Someone better be taking notes and everything. Jason's saying no way when we filled out what he personally gave. We could compare. So, I mean, hey, what's up, Seth R? Your reviews, Jason. First time on the live stream. Thanks for hanging out tonight. I'll say this. Everybody's palate's different. I do think there are some marketing dollars involved in the process for sure. And I also do think that, you know, there are certain brands that get a lot of love from certain folks. I can't say too much about it. All I did was taste what I tasted and give my scores. Whatever happens after that is out of my hands. There's no real guidance we're given. We're just kind of, these are your whiskeys. Here's your, you know, rate them. We get a spreadsheet. We put in our scores and then they go. So it's not like we're heavily involved in, it's not like I'm like on the phone or on a Zoom or Skype, like talking with other people about what we're tasting. It's all just kind of done on each other's own time. So it's an interesting process. But the one thing I will always say about awards, whether you believe in them or not, there are certain distilleries where that getting a double platinum is huge because it puts a spotlight a little bit more on their distillery and what they're doing. Now, whether you believe they deserve it or not is completely up to you. But like a distillery like locally, like High Bank here, ASW in Atlanta, Kings County in New York, like the fact that they got like some double platinums, even if I didn't give them a double platinum, I'm actually happy for them that they got that medal because it's going to give a little bit more of a spotlight on them. For us, we're obviously way more skeptical of what happens there. But I think for some distillers, especially new ones, those are important. So it's like a political poll on the street, not always truthful and representative of real life. Yeah, I would probably agree with that a little bit. So Dallas and Minnesota pretty tight. 9 minutes to go in the fourth. What's the score right now? Yeah, like Holiday, even if you don't agree with them getting a double platinum, that's a distillery that should be getting attention. So there you go. All right. Before I dive into this, I'm gonna have to blow my nose again. I'm sorry, it sounds gross. So what can I play here? A little bit. Let's see. I'll show you Fred Minnick signing my train. And while this is playing, I'll get ready for this blind. Here we go.
Fred, can you sign my caboose?
I'd love to. Can I sign it like I want to sign it?
Sign it. Please say it.
There you go, my friend.
There you go. Zoom in on that. Thanks, Fred.
You got anything to say about that, Fred? Lucky train.
All right, I am ready to go here. All right, so let's dive into this blind tasting. And while I'm doing this, guys, throw your questions in the chat, and I'll answer whatever I can. So you have 23 minutes to blow out 8 samples. I'll go a little bit late tonight because, you know, I have some time here. So This one's pretty damn rich. This is what I would expect with a double oak product. A lot of caramel, a lot of oak, char. Oh, very sweet on the back end. A little bit of a coffee bean note there, which I like. Speaking of coffee. Let's see here. 96, 89 Mavs. Oh, really? Mavs are up. Okay. When Fred said F your train during the live, I lost it. Yeah, I know. You helped judge the awards, Chris Gardner? Yeah, I judged it. So I helped. But again, like I said, they send you a bunch of samples. You fill out your spreadsheet and you submit it. You don't have any interaction with any other judges to like dispute or talk about it. So it has a nice little spice to it too. I'm kind of digging this one. All right. First one coming out swinging. All right, let's go to the second one here. Jason, can you throw bottle guess into each glass? Let me go through them, Whiskey Nose, and I'll see if I can bottle guess any of these. Ooh. This one's pretty tobacco heavy. Sweet tobacco. Not much on the palate, though. Jason, any thoughts on Wild Turkey reopening the Jimmy Russell experience? Hell yeah, man. I'm excited. I was supposed to go down there and film a video with Bo Garrett, but that must have gotten squashed. That never happened. So hopefully I can get down there and do a video. I don't know what's happening with this one, but it's actually coming off medicinal, which is interesting. There's like a medicinal aftertaste that I'm getting on this bourbon. I don't... And it's very coffee forward. That tastes like a straight up latte. I don't remember any of the other... Is that the double oaked maybe? That tastes like a straight up latte. Wow. Okay. 1910 is the medicinal one. You think? Oh, you think, JG? Okay, maybe. Doncic has 26. Yeah, I taped the game. I'm gonna definitely watch it back. Yeah, Nick B. We talked about this. Oliva 5 Maduro is great with a pour. Bob Glass, that's my favorite go-to cigar. Is the Olivas, the Oliva V. So I'm with you, buddy. All right. Missed the opportunity to call this blind the Yabba Dabba Oak in Fred Flintstone's voice. I don't know if I have the I don't know if I can do Kermit right now. This smells like... Yeah, my Kermit's not working. Jason, you know how I have to do Mash and Journey pick with Old Forest and call it the banana hammock? I know, right? This one's rich. I like this one. This one's a little bit more balanced than I was getting in the first two. Bonding over bourbon. I'm going to go Dunkin'. That's a Dunkin' latte right there. More of a fruit forward. More of a... Oh. I seriously just got like coconut on that. Like out of nowhere. Peach. Peaches. What the hell is this one? I'm getting peaches and coconuts. My nose may be stuffy, but my palate is picking up all sorts of crazy shit tonight. Coconut and peaches on a double oaked? What is happening? That could be the Peerless, you think? Not a bad Kermit. So Piggy, this is... I can't even do it. So Piggy, this is my coconut and peach pie. It starts out coconut. I'm sorry. It starts out oak char, caramel, a little bit of chocolate, and then all of a sudden it goes into coconut and peaches. What the hell is that? I don't even know what I would bottle guess for that one. I don't remember tasting that. That's crazy. Wolves are up now? What the hell? Dunkin' lattes slap way harder than I expected. Yeah. Top 5. Oh, we're going to do our top 5 question of the night. Yeah, let's do it. What do we got? Top 5 gangster movies. Top 5 video games. Oh, I love this so much. Mid-Hill Whiskey Lodge, you win. All right. Top 5 video games of all time. Now, this is going to date me because I'm going to say some old shit here. This one's very rich and very spicy. Nerd alert. Yep. Man, you're not even going to limit it to a system of generations. I mean, when I call out these games, you'll see what I mean. Because most of my game playing days were like Nintendo Entertainment System. I was the only one of my friends that had Sega Genesis. Everybody else had either Nintendo 64 or another Nintendo. I was the one Sega guy. So I had Sega Master System. Nobody had Sega Master System, but I had it. I also had Sega Genesis. I had Sega Dreamcast, but then I did like go to the Xbox as I went up. I think the latest one I have is the Xbox One. I haven't bought a system since then. I've never bought a PlayStation. But as far as games go, gosh, there are so many. There are so many good games. How can I even whittle it down to a top 5? This is tough. RC Pro-Am, yeah, Smash Brothers. I didn't have a Saturn, MJ. Did not have a Saturn. Ooh, this one's nice. This one has a lot of spice. That could be the 4-gate Kelvin 60. Just because it's got like that Four Rosian-esque thing to it that sometimes people get. Damn. Well, let me go back to 4. I don't think I finished Ace at 4. In television, B-17 Bomber. Joe Montana Sports. All right. So top 5 games. Let's see if I can whittle this down here. Henry Turner, Destiny 2, Mercenaries, Contra, Halo, NCAA, College Football Prior to Sunset. That's a solid list. Guys, throw in your super chats in your list. Let's check it out. This is Henry Turner's. Anybody got a better list than that one? I don't think I played Mercenaries. Contra definitely played. Halo I played for sure. Man, this one here. Yeah, this one's giving me a lot of spice. Man. All right, let me go to number 6. Let me get some water here. I was Atari. What game? My parents told me to go ride my bike. That's a great shot. All right, so number 5. I'm trying to like formulate this in my head. Number 5 for me might be Tecmo Bowl. I love playing Tecmo Bowl. Love football growing up. Me and my friends play Tecmo Bowl all the time. So Tecmo Bowl might be number 5 on the list, I think. Yeah. Number 4. I have a 4th already. NHL. Is it 96? 95? NHL 95 or 96? One of those 2 years. NHL 95 or 96. I played that game endlessly. I was always the Vancouver Canucks, and I would just take Pavel Bure, and I would scream around everybody and score a million goals. I was normally the Rangers, obviously, but Pavel Bure was like the fastest guy in that game. So I would say Tecmo Bowl, NHL 95, 96, whichever that year was. 94. I think 94 is the GOAT. Mero. Yeah. God, there's just so many slots, and I can't even fill them all with what my favorite games were. Number 3, I'd probably have to put Zelda. The first Zelda of all time that I played. That game had me hooked. Loved Zelda. Number 2. I mean, number 2 and 1 are probably pretty easy for me. Number 2 would probably be Street Fighter 2, because I played that game endlessly at like the delis. I was in a couple competitions. I did actually really well in one competition on Street Fighter 2. I made like top 10. Actually won a little bit of money, which was pretty cool. I was really good with Ken. He was my guy to play with. And then number 1 might be a surprise. I mean, yeah, there's other games like Mario Kart, Mike Tyson's Punch-Out that I loved. But the number 1 game that got me hooked on like role-playing games, which I really got into. Oh my God, how could I even forget? Yeah, I might have to redo this list. I keep forgetting. Oh God. I might have to redo this list. You know what? Take out oh my God. I don't even know. There's too many. There's too many that I love playing. Phantasy Star on Sega Genesis, the first one. And then 2 eventually came out on Sega Genesis. And that game is the game that gave me all my interest in role-playing games. So Phantasy Star 2 is a big one for me. But yeah, I mean, you could get into Halo. I could get into, what was the game I just thought of? Assassin's Creed. Assassin's Creed games are a huge part of my gaming history. Now, they got better, worse, however you want to call it. But Assassin's Creed games would probably be my number 1, to be honest. Because I'm sitting here like thinking, and like, how could I forget the Assassin's Creed games? I played and I own every single Assassin's Creed. And I played every single one, all through them, the history, everything. I just love playing those games. Even though like the endings and the story a lot of the times made no sense, I loved the Assassin's Creed games. That's probably my number 1, to be honest. So, all right. 6. Holy shit, that's really good. 6 is bold. It's got like this almond chocolate combination that it just, that thing hits. Oh man, that's good. I like 6 a lot. 6 might be up there. All right, let's go to 7. I know what this is. This has to be the bourbon. This has to be the Pursuit Spirits. It smells like straight up birthday cake. It's got to be. Oh my God. That's the Bourbon Pursuit. It's got to be. It is so birthday cake forward. It tastes like straight up vanilla icing and yellow cake. That's got to be what that is. I'm calling it right now. Number 7. Bourbon Pursuit. Pick. Calling it right now. All right. Let's go to the last one here. Ooh. Man, we got some crazy bottles down there. Holy shit. It's a lot. This one's actually pretty tobacco heavy too. Oh yeah, Metal Gear Solid was an incredible game. I really got into the Tom Clancy games too. I really like those. The Halos, I really love playing. Obviously, all the Mario games I just grew up playing. Those were a lot of fun. Mario Kart, just even the Super Mario Brothers games as they evolved over time. Metroid, I was a huge fan. I love playing Mega Man. Contra, obviously, grew up playing. Friggin' Paperboy. I don't know why I was obsessed with that game. I love playing that game, even though it was like hard as hell to play that game. Oh, number 8's like Hold My Beer. You're not done yet. This has a really nice baking spice sweet tobacco kick on the back end. That reminds me of the Peerless. That could be the Peerless. All right. So I think I have a couple favorites. So this should be interesting. The problem with the Bourbon Pursuit one is that if that is the Bourbon Pursuit, which I really think it is, where does that one fit in the grand scheme of all these? Because I love the butterscotch heaviness of it and the vanilla cakiness of it, but in kind of this lineup, it's actually, when you think about double oak products, the Bourbon Pursuit one is an outlier. So does that make it stand out more? Does it make it better, or do you put it back in the pack because it's not as good as some of the other ones? Like I don't know where to put it. God, one is so rich. Yeah, tobacco is not Woodford for sure. Also, you're trying to go through proof and see what's the lowest proof. Obviously, Woodford's at that 90 proof point. Mavs 106, 102, 17 seconds left. Oh my God. Every time. %60 of the time, it works every time. I'm Ron Burgundy.
I'm Ron Burgundy?
This one actually could be Woodford. I'm not sure if it's the regular double or the double-double, but that could be a Woodford. Let's go to this one. This one was the super dark one. This was like coffee bean, bitter coffee. I like this one over the first one, so that helps. So let me kind of switch that up here. I do like this over that one. Well, let me do it this way. I'll give, so we have 8. I'll give the first one, I don't know, it's solid. I'll give it a 3. I like the second one a little bit more. There, I give that one 4 stars. Now 3, this is the crazy one. This is the one that was like chocolate, and then it went coconut and peach. What the hell is that? I have no clue what that is. That is so weird. Maybe that's the Dixon Deadman one. Is that the Innkeeper? Maybe. I don't think I like it more than number 2 though. So I'll take it down a tick. But I do like it more than number 1. Okay. Go to number 4. Number 4 is good. Is rich. I probably like number 4 more than all 3 of these. Number 4 is very spicy. It's very rich. It's a little bit floral. That's good. Okay. Yeah, that one is definitely the leader in the clubhouse right now. All right, let's go to 5. So if I had to rank these, I'd probably go 4. 4, 2, 3, 1 so far. So let me move these aside. 4, 2, 3, 1. I'm just gonna leave these aside here. Let me see where these fit. Let me go back to comments. Sorry, guys. Innkeeper wasn't as good as the Phoenix. See, bonding over bourbon, I like the Innkeeper over the Phoenix. But that was me. So this is 5. 5 is a lot of spice, but also it's coming off like a very low proof. This kind of fits in where these are. I'll just kind of stick that here. That's not doing a lot for me here. Let's go to, now we get into some hitters here because number 6. I love number 6. Number 6 is really good, really rich. It's dense. Jason, I'm heartbroken now. I know. I mean, I think there's some batch variants too with those. So I thought the Phoenix was good, but I thought the Innkeeper was a little bit more rounded. I'm waiting for the sneakerhead release. That's the one I want. Speaking of sneakers, what am I wearing tonight? I am rocking my Shadow low tops tonight. I don't know. Was I wearing these last week? I can't remember. I've been wearing the crap out of these because I love them. These are the Nike Shadow low tops. So all right. Laser codes. Yeah. Man, and then Nintendo 64 games are really scratching the nostalgia. Yeah. That one just has a really, now I'm getting citrus in here. I like 6 a lot. There was 7, which I think is the bourbon. Oh my, this has got to be the bourbon suit one. Like, where does that one fit in all this? It's just so, it's a complete outlier compared to the other ones. And then you have this last one here. Which is really good. So man, how am I gonna, I think I'm gonna kind of put this here the way it is, and then I'll start moving a couple of things around here for my final ranking. But yeah, right now those are my rankings, I think. Nice Kicks. Now you got to question the nose on everything all over again. Killer Instinct, Ultra Combo. Anyone mess with a? Oh, actually, thanks for reminding me. Did anyone get the new Blood Oath yet? The Blood Oath 10? Anyone? I'm just curious. I have to blow my nose again, guys. So you, because before I go through these, so I'll just put Fred Minnick on one more time.
Fred, can you sign my caboose?
I'd love to. Can I sign it like I want to sign it?
Sign it. Please say it.
There you go, my friend.
There you go. Zoom in on that. Thanks, Fred.
You got anything to say about that, Fred? Lucky train.
All right, I feel better. I'm gonna go through these one more time real quick, guys, and then we'll do our final ranking here. Okay. I don't really see the BOs, but even if I did, I don't think I would pick it up. I kind of swore off the Blood Oaths this year, so, but I know a couple people wanted me to do reviews on it. But if anyone got one, let me know in the comments or shoot me an email at themashanddrum. I would happy either trade you a sample for it, so I can do a review on it. So if you have one, let me know. This one's really good. I don't remember the original spot on this one, but that one might be my favorite. It's Let's go to this one here. This is the coffee bomb. Mmm. Oh, sweet. All right. Shoot me an email at themashanddrum@gmail.com. Yeah, we'll definitely do that. Which one do I like more? 2 or 3? These are close. This one has like little to no finish. This one definitely has a better finish. So let's letter G. I'm gonna switch that around. Let's go here. I think this one is the Old Forester, maybe. It's giving me Old Forester vibes on this one. This one smells young. I don't know. I'm getting a very corny. Mavs win. Yes. Braves beat Cubs. This is the citrusy one. This one has a lot of orange in it, which is interesting. That's got to be the Bourbon Pursuit one. All right. This one has to move up. This one's really good. All right, so I'm going to move A up. I'm just trying to see where it goes into here. I like it better than that one. Do I like it better than 4? Yes. I'm going to move this down this way. All right. I think this is my ranking. I think I've got it here. I think I've got it. All right. So let's go to Go Cubs. Picked up a 13 colony cash rank yesterday. Haven't excited to crack it. See what we got, guys. The big reveal. Man, it's a lot of whiskey. Okay. Last place. It's not that it's bad. It's just that it's such an outlier compared to the other ones. These first 7 were a lot closer than this is. I said this has to be the Bourbon Pursuit one. It's just so different. And I love this bourbon. I honestly do love it. Let's see if I'm right, though. Am I right? Letter C is... Oh, thank God. Okay. So, yes, this is the Pursuit. So, the Pursuit Spirits United got last in the blind. However, it doesn't get last because it's bad. It gets last because I think it's just so completely different from everybody. I mean, that could have been a good or a bad thing. I could have probably moved it up in the list. To be honest, I don't know. I just didn't really know where to put this. I like this more than Woodford, to be honest. But let's find out where it goes once we kind of get into this. It's just so, compared to the other ones, it's completely out of left field because it's so batter, like cake batter heavy. It's crazy. All right. Now we get into the craziness. Here we go. Letter E. Letter E belongs to no shit. The Innkeeper 2XO from Dixon Deadman. Wow. That's a surprise. Okay. So the Innkeeper gets the 7th place slot. And we'll put that here. Maybe the Phoenix is better. Maybe I'm crazy. There's the Innkeeper bottle, the 2XO from Dixon Deadman. Dixon has been making a lot of crazy blends. The Gemma Kentucky bottle that I have, I think is absolutely fantastic. I didn't want to put that one in tonight just because I thought the proof on it that I have is pretty high. So let's go into this one. This is letter. Wow. Real? Oh, well, okay, that makes sense. So letter F goes to the regular Woodford double oaked. So regular Woodford double oaked goes to letter F. And there you go. I mean, it's a fan favorite of a lot of people, and I get that. But I think the low proof kind of, hinders it a little bit for me. But it's, it's pretty good. All right. All right, we're getting into the nitty gritty here. So that was letter F. Okay, let's see what the next one is here. Letter B. Letter B goes to the Old Forester 1910. Old Fine Whiskey goes into that slot. So there it is. Old Forester 1910 gets, let's see, 1, 2, 3. So 5th place for Old Forester 1910. I mean, as good as it comes when it comes to double-barreled whiskeys that are affordable and also that are findable. So I will always love this bottle. I think it's so good. It's so different. I think Old Forester is probably one of the best things they've ever made, to be honest, in my opinion. So there we go. All right, we're getting to the top 4 now. Let's go. Top 4. Letter A goes to No Way. The Peerless double oaked goes in 4th here. Guys, if none of you have had the Peerless double oaked, this thing is delicious. Now, this was originally the last sample before I changed everything around. I said heavy tobacco. I guess it was Peerless, and it is. I love this double oak product from Peerless. And I actually think it has the best mouthfeel of all these. Double oaked Peerless, remember, they're going in the barrel at 107 proof. They're pre-watering down all their whiskeys, and I think that just helps with the texture of it. So, double oak Peerless, nailing it. That means the top 3 belong to Fox & Odin, the Woodford double oaked, which I think might be that crazy coffee one. Let's see what we got here. 3rd place goes to Woodford double oak. The Dubba comes out in 3rd place. I did not expect this bottle to do that well in this blind, but it killed it. Wow. Really, really cool. That's surprising. Okay. And this is the one that I was getting a lot of the coconut and kind of those crazy flavors from it. So the coconut, the coffee. Oh no, I'm sorry. Scratch that. This was the second one. This is the one I got a lot of the coffee, the bitter coffee chocolate note. That one's crazy. The coconut one, which was number 3, ended up being the which one was that? That was the innkeeper, I believe. So there's no way that the Fox & Odin took out the 4-gate. So let's see what we got here, guys. Yeah, here we go. Fox & Odin, for me, comes in 2nd place. And the winner of this blind goes to the 4-gate Kelvin 60. So Kelvin 60 I did not have in this flight originally. So it would have been interesting to see if Fox & Odin took the whole thing. But when it comes to double oak products, I think the big surprise for me tonight was the double oak from Woodford. These are my top 3. I mean, you talk about a surprising blind tasting. I thought the Peerless would take this out, and even though it was close, I mean, that's pretty crazy. So let's kind of put that here. So here are the top 3 guys. 4-gate Kelvin 60, Fox & Odin, and Woodford Reserve double oak. Those are my top 3 double oak bourbons here that I've had in 2024. Really, really damn good. I don't think the 4-gate can be beat. However, the price tag sucks. But the Fox & Odin at $100, which is half the price, is a pretty damn nice alternative. I would actually throw the double oaked Peerless in that mix too. I think the double oak Peerless should be up there. It should be talked amongst the great double oak bourbons that are on the market for sure. So this batch of Fox and Owen I have is batch number 4. Number 4. There it is. Number 4. So there you have it, guys. Another amazing blind tasting. Next week, I should be back with a couple of blind tasting challenges from a couple of viewers. So I do want to thank the viewers for sending those blind tasting challenges in. I'm not in Matt Madness this year, but it's always fun to do that and kind of keep your chops up in case you ever get challenged. So I feel like I called out a few bottles tonight, so doing pretty good. But all in all, I will say that tonight was absolutely amazing. Great tastings, great whiskey, great people. Over 400 watching for the most part. So what can I say, guys? I really appreciate the support. And with that said, like I always say, it's not about the whiskey, it's the people you share it with. Go check out Women of Whiskeys following me tonight. And I'm going to do a little bit of a blend here before we sign off. I'm not going to pour all of it in, but it's going to do a little bit of a touch of each. Let's see what we get. This is a, man, if it's double oaked. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. This is the Dubba 16 blend. Oh my God. That thing's crazy. Look at the darkness, guys. Check this out. Oh my God. I know you guys want to try that. Let's see if this is terrible or not. I have a feeling this is going to be terrible. It actually doesn't smell bad. It's actually not bad at all. Actually pretty damn delicious. The Dubba 16. Created tonight right here in the Mash and Drum. It's really good. All right, guys. I'm going to go take some throat lozenges and fall asleep. So love you guys. Thanks for the support. Tell your friends. Tell everybody that you can to subscribe. Help me get to that 100,000 subscriber milestone. And I will see you guys right here. Same time, same bat channel right here on the Mash and Drum. Cheers, guys. Love you.